Welcome. You're about to experience a royal story like no other, full of love, heartbreak, and secrets that forever changed the monarchy. Picture this: a wedding watched by over 750 million people worldwide. A perfect prince marrying a beloved young woman, a story of fairy tale romance captured by the world's gaze. But beneath the glimmering crowns and radiant smiles, there was a hidden truth. A story not just about love, but of pain, betrayal, and emotional battles fought behind the palace walls. What seemed like a dream was, in reality, a turbulent journey filled with loneliness, secrets, and heartbreaks that shook the very foundation of the British royal family. This is a story not just of royalty, but of real human vulnerability. The turbulent marriage of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. In 1981, the world watched in awe as Prince Charles, heir to the British throne, married Lady Diana Spencer in a dazzling ceremony dubbed the Wedding of the Century. Over 750 million people tuned in, enchanted by the young princess's charm and the promise of a new era for the monarchy. Diana was seen as a fairy tale princess, beautiful, graceful, and adored by the public. Yet behind the curtain of royal splendor, their marriage was burdened with deep struggles few could have imagined. Charles carried the weight of past affections for Camilla Parker Bowles, and Diana faced the harsh realities of royal life: loneliness, mental health battles, and relentless media scrutiny. What unfolded was not the story of everlasting love, but one marked by emotional wounds, betrayal, and public scandal. Their turbulent marriage captivated millions and reshaped the world's view of the British monarchy forever. Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer's relationship began long before the world celebrated their grand wedding. Their story did not start with love at first sight, but with a complex intertwining of family ties and royal expectations. Charles first met Diana in 1977, but not as a potential suitor. He was actually dating Diana's older sister, Lady Sarah Spencer, at the time. However, Charles and Sarah's relationship did not last, and Charles's attention soon turned to Diana. Despite their first meeting being somewhat casual, Diana was only 16 and described later as full of life, while Charles was in his late 20s and still emotionally entangled with Camilla Parker Bowles, the woman he had loved for years. This added tension to their future relationship, as Charles had not fully closed the chapter on Camilla. It wasn't until 1980, at a country weekend party in Sussex, that Charles and Diana began to develop a closer bond. Diana later recalled how a conversation about loneliness led to a sudden burst of affection from Charles, describing the moment when he leapt upon me and started kissing me. Their courtship officially began, though it was mostly conducted over the phone and through brief private meetings. Over the next several months, Charles invited Diana to several significant royal locations: a sailing weekend aboard the royal yacht Britannia, followed by an invitation to Balmoral Castle, the Scottish royal estate. Diana was warmly welcomed by the Queen and other senior royals, which was a crucial step in her acceptance into the royal fold. Their romance was brief but intense, marked by palace pressures and public curiosity. Diana and Charles met only about 13 times before he proposed marriage on February 6, 1981, in the nursery room at Windsor Castle. The proposal was somewhat formal and hurried, reflecting a marriage influenced heavily by duty and expectation, rather than a long, romantic courtship. Diana accepted the proposal, knowing the immense responsibility that lay ahead. Their engagement was announced publicly on February 24, 1981, with the world watching. In the famous engagement interview, Diana enthusiastically said "of course" when asked if she was in love, while Charles delivered the more ambiguous response, "whatever love means." This moment revealed early cracks that hinted at the complex emotional reality behind their fairy tale image. Diana's engagement ring was a 12-carat sapphire surrounded by diamonds, a family heirloom feel that symbolized her new role. The couple's official photographs, taken by the Earl of Snowdon, and their joint public appearances were watched with intense public fascination. Though celebrated worldwide, the early days of their relationship held an undercurrent of uncertainty and subtle tension. The pressures of royal life, Charles's past attachments, and Diana's youth and vulnerability set the stage for the turbulent marriage that was about to unfold. On July 29, 1981, the world's eyes were fixed on London, where the grandest royal event of the decade was about to unfold. Nearly 750 million viewers across the globe tuned in to witness the union of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer. The wedding at St. Paul's Cathedral was more than just a ceremony. It was a spectacle of tradition, pageantry, and hope for a new era in the British monarchy. The day was magical to the outside observer. New fans were enchanted by Diana's stunning wedding dress, meticulously crafted with a 25-foot train of ivory silk and taffeta, and her radiant smile that lit up the city streets. The avenues were lined with jubilant crowds waving Union Jacks, and the air buzzed with patriotic excitement. Diana was lauded as the people's princess, embodying grace, youth, and the promise of a fairy tale happily ever after. However, behind this veneer of joy and celebration, the reality of the day was more complicated. The night before the wedding, Diana was already struggling, physically and emotionally. Years later, it emerged that she was battling bulimia, an eating disorder rooted in the anxiety and pressure she felt. Sources close to the couple reported that Charles was visibly emotional and even tearful on the eve of their wedding, weighed down by the enormity of the commitment he was making. The public was unaware that this union had deep cracks from the very start. Charles's emotional loyalty to Camilla Parker Bowles lingered in the background, a shadow over the festivities. Diana, only 19, was thrown into an unfamiliar and remote world of royal expectations, traditions, and scrutiny that few could imagine. The ceremony itself was steeped in centuries-old tradition. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Robert Runcie, presided over the vows as Charles and Diana pledged themselves to each other before God and the world. Diana's iconic smile beamed, but within, an uncertainty brewed. The couple's limited time together before marriage left little opportunity to bond deeply, and the glittering facade masked an emotional gulf. Following the wedding, the royal couple embarked on their honeymoon in Broadlands, the country estate of Lord Mountbatten, Charles's great-uncle and mentor. This retreat was meant to be a private escape from the glare of public attention, giving Diana and Charles a chance to relax and begin their life together. Yet the honeymoon was far from a blissful beginning. The young princess felt the isolation of royal life intensely. The palace protocols left little room for personal freedom, and Charles's reserved nature contrasted sharply with Diana's vivacious spirit. The pressures mounted quickly, and cracks that had remained hidden during the wedding now started to surface. Diana struggled to adapt to the royal lifestyle, realizing that the adoration of millions did not make the palace less lonely. Meanwhile, Charles wrestled with his feelings, torn between duty and his unresolved love for Camilla. Their emotional disconnect, not yet public knowledge, began shaping what would become a deeply troubled marriage. The honeymoon period, often idealized as a time of joy and discovery, instead marked the start of an enduring emotional struggle. Diana, who had entered the monarchy with hope and excitement, found herself overwhelmed by reality. The brief moments of happiness were overshadowed by the realization that the fairy tale she longed for was already unraveling. As they returned from their honeymoon, the road ahead promised challenges wrought by personal doubts, public scrutiny, and the weight of history. The wedding day was only the opening act in a drama that would captivate the world, a story of love, loss, and the complexities of life within the crown. After the grand spectacle of their wedding and the brief honeymoon, the reality of royal marriage began to set in for Prince Charles and Princess Diana. The fairy tale image seen by the world soon gave way to a more complex and difficult existence behind the palace walls. Diana found herself navigating an unfamiliar and often cold environment. The strict royal protocols and endless public scrutiny left her feeling isolated and vulnerable. The lavish palaces, which to many seemed glamorous, became places where Diana experienced loneliness intensely. Away from the crowds and cameras, she struggled to find genuine companionship and support. The young princess's natural warmth and desire to connect with people made her beloved by the public. But inside the palace, she often felt like an outsider. She confided in close friends about her emotional battles, including depression and bulimia, illnesses quietly fueled by her sense of loneliness and anxiety. The constant media attention was a double-edged sword, bringing fame and affection, but also relentless intrusion and judgment. Meanwhile, Prince Charles appeared increasingly distant. His reserved nature and the weight of impending kingship added to his challenges. More importantly, his emotional attachment to Camilla Parker Bowles remained a secret wedge between him and Diana. This unresolved relationship left Diana feeling heartbroken and abandoned, though public discussion of such private matters was far from acceptable at the time. The daily life of royal duties and public appearances could never fill the emotional void. Diana craved true intimacy and understanding, but found herself trapped in a role that demanded perfection and stoicism. The pressures grew heavier with every passing day, and the couple's emotional disconnect deepened. Their contrasting personalities also played a part. Charles was cautious and measured, often reserved in expressing his feelings, whereas Diana was more open and expressive, which sometimes led to misunderstandings. The palace atmosphere amplified these differences, creating a sense of emotional distance. What started as a promising union was now shadowed by isolation and unspoken pain. The loneliness Diana experienced was compounded by the knowledge that Charles's heart was elsewhere, a reality that she confronted with quiet resilience. This period marked the beginning of a challenging chapter for both, where personal struggles and public expectations clashed, setting the stage for the many hardships that lay ahead in their turbulent marriage. Before Prince Charles married Lady Diana Spencer in 1981, his heart was already entwined with another woman, Camilla Parker Bowles. Their relationship began in the early 1970s when they met at a polo match, forging a bond that would last decades. Though destined to marry others initially, Charles wed Diana and Camilla married Andrew Parker Bowles. Their emotional connection never truly faded. Throughout Charles and Diana's marriage, Camilla's shadow loomed large. Despite the pomp and grandeur surrounding the royal wedding, Charles's enduring attachment to Camilla remained a secret fracture. The couple's courtship was brief, hurried by royal expectations rather than romantic certainty, and Charles was never fully free of past feelings. In the mid-1980s, the emotional ties between Charles and Camilla rekindled more openly. Their discreet meetings and phone calls became an ongoing affair that Diana would painfully discover. This secret relationship deeply wounded Diana, amplifying her feelings of loneliness and isolation in the palace. Rumors about the triangle circulated in the media, but the full truth was carefully guarded by the royal family. Camilla represented not only a personal betrayal for Diana, but also an obstacle to Charles and Diana's marital happiness. The presence of a third party in their marriage was a source of emotional turmoil that neither Diana nor Charles could easily overcome. It created an invisible wedge that gradually widened the gap between them. Despite public appearances of a fairy tale, the shadow of Camilla shaped the very foundation of their union. Diana's struggle with feeling unloved and Charles's divided heart were central to their eventual separation. Over time, public sympathy grew for Diana, while Charles's relationship with Camilla remained a delicate, often controversial subject. This hidden storm behind palace doors set the stage for one of the most famously turbulent royal marriages, whose emotional and public fallout would capture global attention for years to come. From the mid-1980s to the early 1990s, Princess Diana's life became the center of personal struggles and intense public pressure. During this period, she quietly battled her private wars, especially bulimia, an eating disorder that reflected the emotional emptiness she felt within her marriage. Diana later said that her illness was a response to the loneliness and lack of love she experienced in her relationship. The strict demands of royal life severely affected Diana's mental health. Every step she took was scrutinized by the media, her every move dissected, which added to her psychological distress. Diana's personal battles became highly public, making her feel trapped, as a tree losing its leaves in autumn. At the same time, Prince Charles's and Camilla Parker Bowles' relationship rekindled, deepening Diana's feelings of isolation and anxiety. The media began openly reporting on these secrets, exposing the royal family's private life to the public eye. Diana later spoke openly about her suffering and illnesses, an important aspect of her humanity and compassion. Not only did she assist others amid her difficulties, but she also turned her struggles into campaigns that raised awareness about eating disorders. This era was a crisis period for Diana, both personal and public, where stories of love, betrayal, mental anguish, and innocence circulated widely through the sensational media world. The heavy pressure further weakened her marriage and paved the way toward separation. As the 1980s progressed into the early 1990s, the private troubles of Prince Charles and Princess Diana became impossible to keep behind palace walls. The royal couple's marriage rapidly deteriorated, and the sensational British tabloid press relentlessly pursued every whisper and rumor. What was once considered private family matters soon became global public spectacle. Diana's struggles with bulimia and depression, initially guarded secrets, began to leak into the public domain. Tabloids reported on her bouts of emotional distress, her cries of loneliness, and rumors about her alleged affairs. Amid this maelstrom, the press portrayed Diana both as a tragic, vulnerable figure and at times as someone difficult and unstable. Meanwhile, stories about Charles's enduring relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles surfaced regularly, adding to the growing storm. One of the most notorious scandals was Squidgygate in 1992, when intimate tapes of a private telephone conversation between Diana and her close friend James Gilby were secretly recorded and published by The Sun. The tapes revealed Diana's candid and emotional discussions about her troubled marriage, her feelings of despair, and the suffocating pressures she faced. This breach of privacy shocked the public and deepened the media frenzy around her. Around the same time, leaked conversations and photographs further fueled speculation about infidelity on both sides, while hoaxes such as fake intimate videos circulated, forcing newspapers to issue apologies. Photos of Diana sunbathing topless abroad and other private moments were published, sparking outrage and raising questions about media ethics. The intense spotlight and constant scrutiny strained Diana's mental health and public image, but also gave her a platform to speak openly about her struggles. In 1995, her famous BBC Panorama interview with Martin Bashir shocked the world when she admitted to her own affair, acknowledged Charles's relationship with Camilla, and revealed the emotional betrayal she endured. These scandals and rumors fundamentally altered public perception of the monarchy and exposed the deeply human struggles behind royal prestige. The tumultuous media spotlight was a defining feature of Diana and Charles's deteriorating marriage, a relentless, often cruel intrusion that shaped their personal and public lives until their eventual separation and divorce. In December 1992, the marriage of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, long troubled by emotional distance and public scandals, reached a public turning point. On December 9th, the British Prime Minister John Major announced to the House of Commons that the couple had decided to separate amicably. Although they remained married, their decision marked a formal end to their life together as husband and wife. It was a historic moment, unprecedented for the royal family to have such a personal matter announced officially by the government. The announcement assured that neither Charles nor Diana's constitutional positions were affected, and both would continue fully in the upbringing of their two sons, Princes William and Harry. The separation came after years of growing apart, with rumors and media scandals exposing private marital troubles. Despite continued public duties, Charles and Diana lived largely separate lives. The royal family had tried to reconcile them, but the emotional wounds and ongoing presence of Camilla Parker Bowles in Charles's life were insurmountable. Both struggled with personal issues, Diana with mental health battles including bulimia and depression, and Charles with the burden of duty and divided affections. Following the separation, negotiation for divorce proceeded quietly but steadily. In July 1996, the decree Nisi, First Step Toward Divorce, was granted, and on August 28, 1996, the divorce was finalized. Diana lost the style, Her Royal Highness, but kept the title Princess of Wales. She and Charles shared custody of their children, and Diana received a settlement estimated at £17 million with an annual allowance. The separation and divorce were watershed moments revealing raw human struggles behind the royal facade, transforming public perception of the monarchy. Though no longer married, Diana remained a globally beloved figure until her tragic death in 1997, while Charles eventually remarried Camilla Parker Bowles in 2005. Their separation marked the end of a turbulent chapter, but left a lasting legacy on royal history. The formal end of Prince Charles and Princess Diana's marriage in August 1996 marked a significant turning point in British royal history. Their split followed years of separation, public scandals, and emotional turmoil that had captivated the world. Despite the legal divorce, Diana remained a loved and influential figure, known affectionately as the People's Princess, for her groundbreaking humanitarian work and openness about her personal struggles. After the divorce, Diana lost the style Her Royal Highness, but retained the title Princess of Wales, maintaining her unique position within the royal family as the mother of the future king. She was granted custody of her two sons, Princes William and Harry, with shared parenting alongside Charles. Financially, she received a settlement of around £17 million and an annual allowance, which allowed her to continue her charitable efforts independently. Diana's legacy extended far beyond royal titles. She used her public profile to champion causes such as AIDS awareness and the campaign to ban landmines, touching millions globally with her compassion and authenticity. Her tragic death in a car accident in 1997 shocked the world, leading to an unprecedented outpouring of grief and cementing her humanitarian and cultural impact. For Charles, the aftermath was a period of reflection and eventual renewal. After years of controversy, he formally ended his relationship with Diana and later married Camilla Parker Bowles in 2005. Their marriage symbolized a new era for the monarchy, one attempting to heal and evolve from past turbulence. The marriage, separation, and legacy of Charles and Diana profoundly changed public perceptions of the British monarchy. Their story exposed the vulnerabilities of royal life and humanized its figures, reshaping the relationship between the crown and the people. Diana's enduring legacy remains a testament to empathy, resilience, and change within an institution once regarded as remote and infallible. The marriage of Prince Charles and Princess Diana remains one of the most compelling and tragic stories in modern royal history. What began as a fairy tale wedding, watched by hundreds of millions worldwide, unfolded into a complex tale of love, betrayal, emotional struggle, and public scrutiny. Their union was never quite what it appeared on the surface. Behind the grandeur lay deep personal pain, loneliness, and misunderstandings that neither could overcome. Their turbulent marriage exposed the human vulnerabilities beneath the royal facade, reshaping how the world views monarchy. Diana's courage to speak openly about her struggles transformed her into the beloved People's Princess, a humanitarian icon who touched millions beyond royal titles. Charles's eventual remarriage to Camilla Parker Bowles reflected a monarchy learning to adapt and heal from past wounds. Though their marriage ended in divorce, their story left a lasting legacy, one that humanizes royalty and highlights the cost of public life lived under relentless media gaze. Their journey reveals the complexities of love and duty intertwined with history and tradition, reminding us that even fairy tales can have shadows. The enduring fascination with their lives underscores how profoundly their relationship changed the British monarchy and public perception forever.